We're back with another edition of Wrestle This and That. I'm your host, Brother Rick, and this is my co-host,
Brother Don Juan.
Yeah, we both are tired.
Yeah, we're tired.
We're tired, but that's all right, because we're getting ready to kick off Smackdown.
Yeah, we started Smackdown off with a little bit of fun from Miz TV. And of course, Maurice was out there with Miz.
Looking all good. Maurice looking all good.
And their guest was none other than the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. So Styles gets out of the ring. Miz basically says, did you do it? Yeah, it's $1 million question everybody's been asking.
Did you have Anderson and Gallows to come out and attack Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw? He said he had nothing to do with it.
He said, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told Roman. I didn't do it. Those guys, they marched to a beat of their own drum. I'm not their dad. I thought that was kind of funny.
And then he told Miz, he said, listen, I'll knock your tooth out twice.
Yes, he did.
He said, don't make it happen again, because I'll do it again, basically.
And then Miz was convinced that Roman Reigns was the guy. And the crowd was convinced he wasn't.
Yeah, he said, listen, these guys are my friends, longtime friends. He said, but I don't need any help to take out Roman Reigns at Payback.
And so,
that's strong words.
And Miz spun it around. He said, did you tell them not to do it? So by telling them not to do it, it was their way of telling him to do it.
Yeah.
And then when he turned around, he met with a few punches, some spin punches. And
he was kissing his wife. And then
that's right.
Him. That's
yeah.
He
long kisses.
Off of him.
I mean, Miz has got to love his segments these days. He's the Intercontinental Champion, so he has something to flaunt again. And then he gets to make out with his wife.
Yeah, on national television. And if their marriage was horrible, it's getting better.
It's getting better.
It's getting better thanks to WWE. There's no doubt. But overall, it was a good segment, and I'm waiting on that match just to see if Gallo and Anderson will interfere.
Yeah, and then you went straight from that match, very first match.
WrestleMania match.
A rematch from WrestleMania. A match that most people didn't get to see. So the good news here in England was that was packed.
It was.
And
my hometown.
You have a little bit of Kalisto and Ryback.
Yeah. If you ask me, I think that this match was better than the one at WrestleMania, if you ask me. I mean, both of them was horrible. But that's just me. That's just what I think. They need to move on to different
I thought
opponents.
it was going to be different opponents. When I seen Ryback come out and they started talking about this again, I was like, oh my goodness gracious. And what did the match in for me was the Kings commentating. The whole thing was that the big guy is always going to beat the little guy, but that's not true.
Which isn't true whatsoever.
We've seen Ryback get beat numerous times by the little guy. This particular time, Kalisto goes to the well one too many times looking for Selena del Sol. And
Ryback catches.
We talked about it before we went on air, so we'll just go ahead and tell you is like with Ryback and Kalisto, you don't get to see really anything out of Kalisto. Like, they really do make Ryback dominate the entire match, and then you get like 3 minutes of Kalisto trying to mount an offense to win the match. And normally he has won the match, and this time he lost the match. And now Ryback stands over top of him holding his title and just drops on it.
And I hope this is not at the pay-per-view again. I hope it just don't even make it to the Payback. But like you said, he's trying to make Ryback look dominant, but he loses at WrestleMania. And it just seemed like when he gets in a ring with Kalisto, he made Kalisto look bad. And we know Kalisto can put on a great match.
Right, and Kalisto's the champ. So why are you going to make the champ look bad?
My thing is...
They've made Kalisto look bad as a champion since he's got the belt the second time.
The belt was relevant.
Yeah.
Until he got it and then started wrestling against Ryback. So the thing is take the belt off of Kalisto. Take it off of him and do not put it on Ryback. And give it to somebody deserving, like a Sami Zayn or somebody, Dolph Ziggler, somebody except those two guys.
Someone who's going to defend the title. I mean, right now you got a good push going for Baron Corbin. Give it to him already.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of Baron Corbin.
Jeez.
Segue. Right.
But matter of fact, it's supposed to have been a match.
It was supposed to be a match, him and Dolph Ziggler.
And this guy comes out and he decimates.
Him. I mean, second time in a row.
He's a big dude. His move to me so far is one of the most devastating moves I've seen.
Yeah, in the days is a pretty sweet finisher. Ain't no doubt about it.
Seth Rollins had the best move when he hit the curb stomp. If you ask me, that was the best move. But this guy come along and his moves just he overtakes the Undertaker's, Stone Cold, you name it. I love this move, and this move when he hits it, you ain't getting up.
And he continues to hit it on the outside of the ring and
on Dolph Ziggler.
And when Baron was walking back to the back after we had an announcer come out and ask him why he did it, and he said, because he can.
Because he can. Because I'm 6'7" and I can do whatever I want to do.
So Baron Corbin getting a huge push, and I believe that he does meet Ziggler, right?
Yeah, eventually he's going to meet Ziggler at Payback. Hasn't been sketched in stone yet, but I think it's sketched in stone.
So, I mean, Ziggler doesn't get a chance to do absolutely nothing. I mean, like he made an appearance for the crowd, and then he was just laid out.
Yeah, attacked, tremendously beat up. So, but you know what? Like I said, if anybody can build up a wrestler, it's Dolph Ziggler, and I think he's going to help Baron Corbin get his push and look good doing it. So hey, there you have it. There you
So since that match didn't happen, our second actual match of the night, was AJ Styles versus The Miz after what happened on Miz TV.
Another good match for both of these guys.
Absolutely.
They traded their moves back and forth. Miz continued to impress me with the push that he's getting. AJ has continued to be phenomenal. The crowd is behind
really has.
Oh, the crowd is behind this guy left and right. So they pick up where they left off for the last two matches that they had, and they put on another great match.
Right. I agree with that assessment 100%. AJ continues to at least pull out one move.
A different move every week.
I mean, so eventually we're going to see this guy's full arsenal, and it's sick, man. There's a reason why he's phenomenal. Like I said, I didn't watch New Japan, so I know a lot of you guys are like way ahead above me, and you're probably like, man, you haven't seen nothing yet. And I'm glad I haven't seen nothing yet.
Well, this is a good thing.
Because this is just awesome.
Shane is starting off good with these different matches and matches that we haven't seen before, new people that he's calling up and whatnot. And this is exactly what we needed, 2 years ago. But we're getting it now, so we're not gonna complain. But just when the Miz decided,
that he had enough after he got hit with the Pele kick and everything else that he'd been hit with, he said, "Hey, I'm leaving."
But
Maurice goes and said, "Get me the title,"
and they gave it to her.
They gave it to her.
There was no use for it because standing right in the middle of the walkway
was Gallows and Anderson.
The Bullet Club, and they just basically scared the Miz back in the ring. Well, not back in the ring. They got him near the ropes, and AJ comes off with a nice forearm over the top rope.
Throws him back in and gives him the phenomenal forearm this time. And it's just, I love it. I love that move. I really do like the Styles Clash. And it just cracks me up every time he goes like that to set up. You almost know he's not getting it.
Then you're not going to get it.
So,
but he has a second.
But he does a second man. I'd much rather see the phenomenal forearm than the calf crusher. Just because you guys know where we're at, where submission holds are.
Yeah, forget the submission grab. AJ Styles wins. He picks up the win, 1, 2, 3 over the Intercontinental Champion. Yeah, so hey, like I said, Miz does not have to hold his head down because whether he win or lose, he's in great matches every week. So that's all that matters.
So then they have a Sami Zayn and Dean Ambrose
interview. Yeah.
Basically talking about how. Well, Sammy basically made it like they needed a tag team name.
You can give it a tag team name. And
I like this first one. That Sambrose?
It's Sambrose.
Sambrose, that was good.
Ambrose said,
I would have went with that.
Ambrose said, nah.
Ambrose said Rough Riders.
And that was pretty neat if you was a biker. They wasn't bikers or whatnot,
And Sami Zayn said it was like too sexual.
Yeah, that's too sexual.
What?
And Ambrose say, well, just take off that stupid hat.
Yeah.
And let's go in this ring and take care of business and whatnot. Ambrose also said that Jericho calls himself the best in the world. And he said, yeah, he is best in the world, attacking people from behind. But these two guys is going to get in the ring eventually, and they're going to tear up Payback.
And then Gallison, I'm throwing names together. Anderson and Gallows. Gallison. I was taking Sami Zayn's words, throwing two together. Gallows and Anderson, they had a quick interview. They asked if AJ sent them out there. They said, no. We do what we want. We're making a statement.
They're making an impact.
And we're going to make impact.
They're going to make an impact.
On Monday night.
And they're going to start off with the Usos. They're going to finish the Usos off from 2 weeks when they attacked them. And they say, and they have arrived.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
And
I mean, they've already went after the biggest fish.
Oh.
And
how do you start? You just start off with the big fish.
Right. So they started with the Usos, and then they moved on to the big fish, Roman Reigns, and...
Well, if you look at it, if you kind of really look at it, it's like they're tying these three guys in, Roman Reigns and the Usos. And eventually, down the road, it may be a three-man tag. But who would that third man be? Will it be AJ Styles? Or would it be somebody else?
I think it's going to be someone else.
Hopefully someone else. But hey, we'll see. Anyway, overall, after that segment, they basically told everybody where they stood. They said, we're here to make an impact, and we have arrived. And coming Monday Night Raw, when they take on Usos, you're going to see these guys wrestle.
So I can't wait. I'm excited about watching that on Monday night. Third match was the tag match. Divas match.
You know,
Team Bad lately just kind of getting shuffled through the back.
Yeah, when they were on a roll.
Sucks.
Which they were on a roll.
You know, I mean, still great in-ring performers by Naomi.
It gets better and better if you ask me.
Tamina, you didn't really get to see hardly anything out of, which is a shame because we do know that she's a Hulk and
make it a dominant one.
She can really do some good things. And they took on Natty and Paige, and when Paige walked out, they blew the roof off of that place.
Why? Because they was from London.
Yeah,
she was from London.
This time when she said, "This is my house," it was her house.
It was her house this time. You know, she still don't pay the bills there, but it was a house. And whatnot, and in a way that's kind of getting old to me. It really is. This is my house.
Well,
and,
you know,
you lose
that's
every match there is.
Right.
Yeah, whatever. She you know, she walked out with the big bloomers on. You know, remember back in the day when she started, you know, with AJ, she wore these little tight shorts and looked nice, and now she's wearing granny panties in the ring, and you got Natty looking 7 times better than her. But overall, the match was all right. I just still think that Natalya did not shine. It just seemed like they refused to let this lady shine, at least for a couple of months if she's going to be in the title picture. She always has to get the beat down. Even though she won, she had to get. Why not Paige take the beat down? I mean, you're trying to build her up for this championship match she's going to have at Payback and whatnot. You got to get clobbered every time you know she has a match. That's the only thing I disliked about the match.
So the match ends with Natalya having the sharpshooter on Naomi and Paige having the
have her submission hold.
What do we call that? The PTO, right?
Yeah, PTO.
Yeah. So that's how it ended. That way the crowd got to see both. It ended with the double submission. So we've seen them do that with Becky and Sasha. They decided, hey, let's push it over on this one. So.
And you can rest assured, the next time Paige have a single match, she's going to lose.
So
she only win at home.
So then we have a fourth match that I know just turned Rico's stomach to juice.
I almost threw up on. I kid you not. This match was not made for television.
WWE, I do not need this guy throwing up. We've missed like 7 shows lately.
Yeah, you know.
So.
You had R-Truth taking on Fandango with the Goldust being the referee. And only thing these guys did was get in the ring and pump the air and roll their hips and all this. You know, I don't even know why that was on television. It just looked totally uncomfortable to me, grown men doing it to one another and touching each other's chests and all that. But, whoo. Anyway, like I said, that's something they could have kept in the back area. I did not enjoy that whatsoever.
Pretty much, like you said, a dance off. You got served. And then in the A&R Truth, took exception to the fact that Fandango had taken Goldust's hand, rubbing it on his body while he was grinding. Right. And he gave him the lie detector. And
I called it the nasty dance off between old men.
So
that was horrible, dude.
So they get the 1, 2, 3, and
wait.
And you just still don't know where Goldust stands. He was just a referee. So.
Yeah, so
is R-Truth going to happen?
They're going to string this out for. Yeah, they're going to string this out for what, another 2 months?
I don't know.
Before they decide I'll join.
So then after that, they need something to pump it back up.
Why not?
What better than Enzo and Cass? So Enzo and Cass, who were successful in beating the Dudley Boys on Monday night to claim their spot at Payback.
And then you had the Vaudevillains.
The Vaudevillains, who I was surprised to see beat the Usos.
I wasn't surprised whatsoever.
So that's our big matchup that we have at Payback, the Vaudevillains and Enzo and Cass. Enzo and Cass go to cut their normal promo, and the Vaudevillains interrupt, and I'm going to say this, the Vaudevillains on the mic were pretty impressive. And I know, I'm sure people have heard them before because they watch NXT, but I don't. I need to start because all these guys that have been coming up are good. They're better than good. They are awesome. There's no doubt about it. They are very polished.
Now, I think that that's what you go down to NXT for, to get polished, get prepared to go, come to the big time.
Maybe some of the other guys need to get sent down to get polished.
Yeah, like Fandango or somebody. But this group, I told Don about this group a while back, and now they're here. They're here at the WWE, and they own Smackdown, and they own Raw. I'm leaning toward this Payback match that they have, that they're going to give it to Enzo and Cash because I'm assuming they're so popular and whatnot. But the person that should be deserving is the Vaudevillains. I really do. This is a good team. Like he said, they connect together. They have great moves. They got good chemistry. Not saying that Enzo and Cass does, but they just don't look like a cohesive team to me. I mean, they look so odd, and maybe odd is in, but it's not in for me. I don't too much care about it. About their wrestling ability or whatnot, and then you don't even have a real good finisher that's going to really put people down. You know what I mean? People kick out of a flying cross body drop basically on top of you, a frog splash. How many people kick out of that? And Cass don't even look like he even touches them.
Yeah,
so that don't even look. Real.
That's my thing about it. I think it's going to be good.
Well, it's going to be a great match.
And quite frankly, I kind of lean the same way. I mean, I'd kind of like to see the Vaudevillains win. That's nothing against Enzo and Cass because I think they're awesome. We were at the Royals game yesterday, and I kept on doing the skit all day long. So
the thing about it is that give the belts or give them the opportunity to be the number one contenders at Payback, and then just keep the Enzo and Cash in the mix somehow with another tag team or whatnot until their time is up. Because I'm telling you, if they take a back seat, if Vaudevillains takes a back seat, they're going to get lost in the shuffle.
So it was a very impressive mic debut for me, for the Vaudevillains.
Yeah, they ate them up,
didn't they? They ate them up. They basically didn't let them do their skit.
No.
And it kind of looked like it threw Enzo off.
It did. The insults did.
So, because
insult. What did he say about his hair? He looked like a spotted chihuahua or something. But anyway, it was a wet
something.
Yeah,
it wasn't a chihuahua.
And it was surprising.
Weird thing. And he was all like, I don't even know what the hell that means.
And that even made it worse.
But
made it worse.
So then so that segment ends. With both teams, they got a little bit back and forth, but it was mainly dictated by the Vaudevillains.
Definitely.
And then we went to our main event. Our main event was Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn and Dean Ambrose. And the match itself was pretty good.
Pretty good match.
I love the Blue Thunder Bomb.
It was a great.
I think that move is awesome.
It should be a finish.
Jericho does kick out of it as everyone else has, but I do think that's a lot better than the hell of a kick.
Yeah.
And then he did a drop kick, and did you notice the announcer's like, he got him with the hell of a kick. He did not. He wasn't in the corner. He didn't run.
You had the King down there and some other
foot.
dodo bird.
So
we didn't know what they did. But I tell you, the move I like is when he was elbowing from the back and he spent around him and whatnot and hip toss.
Yeah.
That was, I've never seen that. I've never seen any wrestler do that before. So Sami Zayn got some tricks up his sleeve and
he does.
Some good arsenals also. So he's a good man to keep your eye on also.
So the match back and forth for a while. Ambrose finally gets in the ring because they really started neutralizing Sami Zayn. They were beating him up, and then Sammy got the advantage, and Kevin tagged himself in and stayed outside the ring. And then when Sammy came back, he drug him outside the ring, and he really went to town on beating him down. Anyways, he eventually makes the tag in. Ambrose does his normal arsenal, and the match got weird at the end.
Yeah, very weird.
Because Ambrose, on one side, he jumped off the turnbuckle, got called the super kick.
Oh, yeah, that was a nice super kick.
And got a 2 count on it. Then Ambrose starts getting the advantage, and he goes to get on the other side of the turnbuckle, and he gets pushed off by Jericho, Kevin Owens immediately goes over and pins him, and
Roll him up.
and he wins.
With a flip off the top rope.
I mean, Jericho, all he did was just push him off the rope, and
Didn't poke him in the eye. Didn't poke him in the eye.
it was just a strange ending that's how they would end a match that was actually really
match.
good. So
Maybe they was pressed for time. I don't know.
perhaps
You can go over on Raw, but you can't go over on SmackDown, and you're on the same network. Okay, well, it is what it is.
But so Owens and Jericho get the win, which I'm cool with because because Owens had to take the loss on Monday against
Right.
Ambrose, and I think Jericho still beat Zayn though,
He
didn't he?
still beat Zayn.
So,
He
yeah.
sure did, and that was a great match also.
So it's a nice rivalry, and obviously at Payback they will
These guys
face off
meet.
against their own, and
Yeah.
so that'd be pretty exciting.
Waiting on
But
that, too.
so the only thing that we know for sure on Raw is that it'll be the in-ring debut of Gallows and Anderson, and that's got me intrigued as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give SmackDown an 8.5 out of 10. What did you give him?
I give him an 8.
Gave him an 8. So we're right around the same page. 5 things that I took away from it. 1, I love the fact that it wasn't a Raw review type of night. They literally showed the Roman Reigns thing at the very beginning when the show was coming on, so we didn't have to see that later on. And then they only showed a brief clip of Shane making the match, and then the endings of those 2 matches between the ones that we mentioned with Jericho and Zayn and Owens and Ambrose. So that was like it from Raw, so that was cool. I really enjoyed that. So that's number 1. Number 2, the build up between the Vaudevillains and Zone Cast.
Yes, that's going to be good.
Staying with that, even though I've already been talking a lot about it. Number 3, very impressed by the mic skills of the Vaudevillains.
Of course.
Because I think in the ring they got it, and now I know on the mic they've got
They
it
definitely
too.
got it.
So that's outstanding stuff to look forward to. Number 4, AJ Styles continues to shine in the ring. I'm going to go ahead and say he's masterful in the ring, like I said, and I love watching
Flawless.
him because he always, like I said, he throws something new in. I mean, today it was like the Great Muta's old move, man. He did the Indian leg lock and turned it into a Brit. I mean, just awesome stuff. And then number 5 for me is the shows can be good, and you didn't have one segment with the champ in it.
Not one.
Not one.
So, hey, Reigns, we can carry on without you, even though you're carrying the World Heavyweight Championship belt. That tells you something, don't it?
That does. And
Tells
my
me a
number
lot.
6 thing would be like, if you're not going to do anything with Kalisto, then
Just take the belt off of him, and I agree with you on that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show.
That was SmackDown Review.
And stay tuned. It's been a long time. But Rico, I'm sure he's dug up some awesome rumors. There'll be Rico's Rumor Report next.
We be back.